Hey everybody, this is Eli Freestone, and you're watching my Week 1 reflection video for Java 2, term 1405. This week I used the Rotten Tomatoes API, more specifically their DVD new release service that they offer, to display 10 new release DVDs with title, release date, and the critic review. Or critic rating, sorry. So anyways, let's go ahead and do a quick run through of the code here. All in all, I think the project went reasonably well. I did run into a really big time crunch at the beginning of the week due to some computer trouble, but thankfully the project itself was extended. So although I did get very far behind because of that extension meant it really saved my bacon. I didn't even have to ask for an extension or anything. So anyways, I think it went fairly well considering the time crunch and everything. Definitely not my best work, but it is functional, and the logic is at least reasonably sound. I know there's definitely a lot of stuff that I could have done better, but it does work as it's supposed to. So I guess that's all I could really ask for at this point. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a quick run through here of my code. So when the application first starts up, it actually first checks to see if the file already exists on the device. If it does, it's supposed to automatically display that data onto the list view. Unfortunately, something's wrong with the way I have this set up, and it automatically says that it does not exist, even if I know it is. If I know it does, I should say. At which time it actually goes to it first does a network check, and then if there's network connection, it does my retrieve data method, which starts the cascade that launches my service, which calls the API, which saves the file, and then after that, to display the file, you have to select Get New Releases from the screen. So anyways, it does, unfortunately I just haven't really had enough time to really dig into why it keeps skipping that and saying that it doesn't exist. It doesn't crash or anything like that, though. It does function correctly, so it works, but I'd really like to figure out what's going on with that. So anyways, let's go ahead and keep on cruising on through here. So I have my service handler is all set up in my main activity. There is one thing that needs to get moved from my main activity, and that is my display data from file. It's supposed to be in this JSON data class. I created that specifically for this with the intention of moving it over. And unfortunately, I just kind of got sidetracked and more or less just spaced it out until now. So I will get that moved over after I get this video done here. But yeah, that's supposed to be over in that file. So I have my network connection, which is essentially from Java 1. My data services is all gets all set up here, other than the creating the handler over in main activity. This is all it handles the intent and all that, as well as the URL right here. And then data manager does the read and write to the file. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop over to the emulator real quick here. I already launched it just to save some time. This is the alert that pops up when it does not find the file already on the disk. Tells you that the file doesn't exist. So to select Get New Release to update the list view. So let's go ahead and do that, and there we go. It displays it. So let's go ahead and just to show you what I was talking about with the skipping the file. We already know that the file exists because it's displaying right there, but it's gonna, when it pops up here, it's actually going to say that it doesn't exist again. Unfortunately, I just haven't had enough time to really dig into that and figure out what's going on. It could be I'm not calling the directory name for the file or something like that correctly. But yeah, so, and then we can display it again. So as far as services versus async, I think there's definitely there's some very big advantages to services. There's a lot more leeway. You can do a lot more different things with it. But I think there's still some times where async would probably work better, just because it's more of it doesn't do anything until you tell it to, and then when it's done, it's done. Where a service, you start it and then it runs behind the scenes even after it's finished what it's supposed to do. Whether or not that actually affects performance or anything like that, I don't really know. I don't really know enough about the services yet to say. But for some stuff, that just kind of seems a little bit inefficient. All in all, though, I do really like the services. I think there's a lot of possibilities for those, and it's definitely something that will come in handy. Overall, this week, I'm really liking Java a lot. I'm really getting the hang of it. It just makes a lot of sense to me, especially coming over from Objective-C. There's still some stuff, some intricacies involved with the libraries that I'm still trying to figure out and wrap my head around, but I'm definitely liking Java overall. But yeah, so I guess that's about it. This has been Eli Freestone, Week 1 for Java 2, Term 1405. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.